Good morning, everybody. It's BDF44 coming at you with another video, and I just wanted to just talk about Dennis Schröder and how he's starting to settle in with the Lakers. Um, there were comments brought about, and the talking heads are going rampant about the comments that were made about him wanting to start. Paraphrasing, of course, he essentially said that he played the start backup role in OKC, pulled it off, didn't want to do it again, not for this team. He expects to be starter, and through his agent, he's made those demands prior to the trade being completed, and he's under the impression that the Lakers have made those decisions in his favor, so that he's going to be the starting point guard. There's two things to look at in this situation. The first thing for me to say in regards to that is Dennis Schröder has never been a part of a winning situation. He's never played with the type of talent that he's going to be playing with. And in the situations he's been in the past, it may be in his best interest to make these type of decisions going into the franchises that he's been a part of. It is maybe in his best interest to speak this way and to make his demands and to make it clear that what he wants. Because when you're going to a basketball team, especially one that's not very good, and you're a good player, these are the type of things that you should expect. So I understand that Dennis Schröder may be coming in with a mindset that's appropriate for the circumstances he's been in, but maybe he will learn not so appropriate for the circumstance that he finds himself in, which is brand new. Brand new. We have to remember, this is not somebody who's played for the Heat and for the Golden State Warriors and all these different franchises where you come in saying stuff like that is laughable. He's played for the Atlanta Hawks and the OKC Thunder. And in coming in to the OKC Thunder, he didn't have the luxury of saying he wanted to start at point guard because CP3 was in the place. On this team, LeBron James, though he is considered a point guard, is 6'10" power forward who can play the point guard position from any position. And two, Dennis Schröder is a point guard who's not known for setting people up, but more so known for scoring the ball. So that in the starting lineup with LeBron James is not going to harm the team in any way, shape, or form. And really, I expect the Lakers to consider very seriously starting Dennis Schröder for most of the games that we are in. He is by far the most talented point guard of normal size that we have on the roster. I like the fact that we have Caruso. He's earned his championship by playing fantastic defense. But he is not the offensive talent that Dennis Schröder is. And I could argue that Caruso's not a point guard, but more so a two guard because of his size. So he shouldn't be affected too much by coming off the bench for Dennis Schröder, because Dennis Schröder, quite frankly, is a more talented player at this stage in the game. It's not like Rondo's here. It's not like we got CP3. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not like he has more talented people to jump in front of. He should be the starter because he's the most talented point guard in the league on our team, to be clear, on our team. So I don't have a problem with his statements as it pertains to him trying to establish his leverage or lack thereof in normal circumstances. But when you're coming to a championship team with two of the best players of all time happen to be in their prime on the roster. Because I look at LeBron James, I say he's going to retire when he wants to. He's playing like he's in his prime, so what's the difference? Right? That's how I look at that. And then Anthony Davis, obviously Anthony Davis is in his full-fledged prime and is a top 3 player in all of basketball. So if you're coming to this team making demands, you will quickly find out how expendable you are. Dennis Schröder is a very talented player that we want to have, but one of the things that we enjoyed last year was the chemistry that we had, and the maturity that we had from some of the guys who are not on the team right now. One of the reasons why it worked out so well is because guys were willing to play their roles without complaint and put in the work, even extra work at times, to assure that we were able to accomplish the goal. A common goal that everybody wanted equally and didn't have any issues getting, no matter the circumstances. That's what made that team special last year, was the chemistry, more so than anything else. So if Dennis Schröder is coming in to disrupt that chemistry, as quick as he came in is as quick as he needs to leave. Honestly. And like I said, the Lakers need a player that does what he does, but he's not the only player in the league that does what he does. That's just being honest. So I want him here, and I'm happy he's here, and I don't think this is one of those situations where you say, okay, we need to get rid of him. But this is a situation that says, okay, this looks like a situation that could turn into one of those. And if it is, we need to start having a strategy for getting him out of here quickly. There's no tolerance. We're a championship team with a win now timeline. Win right now. We won yesterday, we plan to win today, and we plan to win tomorrow. Nobody on this roster is going to keep us from that. No one. And so I believe that Dennis Schröder, once he gets in to being a Laker, because you got to understand, he just got here. He hasn't even really probably sat down with and got to know everybody yet. He's just operating like an NBA player going into a new situation, and probably being advised by a management team that is probably behind the 8 ball with other management teams, because I didn't hear him being a part of Rock Nation, and I didn't hear him being a part of Clutch. So if that's the case, he's probably with an aggressive management team who's looking like they're playing from behind. You understand what I'm saying? So they're going to tell him to make decisions that are going to establish strength, because quite frankly, probably don't have that much of it. And they're in the world of Clutch. See, I'm a manager or a management team, and I just found my client on the Lakers. The Lakers are run by Clutch. So do you see the picture I'm trying to paint for you guys? I'm going to tell my guy to go in there with his chest out flexed up, because we need to establish dominance in a world that is not ours. Do you see what I'm saying? So when I hear Dennis Schröder speak, I see all of those people behind him who are looking at Clutch as a threat. And they probably would prefer their client not be that close to LeBron James, so that he doesn't take, you know what I mean? So that he doesn't find himself firing them and hiring Clutch, which is what a lot of Laker players end up doing when they get here, which may be inevitable at this point. So just reading the tea leaves and knowing how things can kind of go in that regard, I would ask everybody to open their mind to that possibility. I don't think we were hearing Dennis Schröder's voice when he was saying those things. I think we were hearing his management team who's concerned about losing their job. So that's just a hunch. That's just my theory. Doesn't have to be the truth. Dennis Schröder is a young guy, so he could be very well just a bullheaded young fella who just at this point feels like he's put in his dues, and he doesn't care about being a Laker. He just told people last week or 2 weeks ago, however long ago it was, that he didn't want to be a Laker. Lakers traded for him anyway. Maybe he's one of those people that just really, really does not want to be here, and we should not rule that out either. Just because it's a great situation doesn't mean it's great for everyone, okay? Some people have other ideas about what they want for their careers, and it doesn't involve being a Laker. And that's hard to fathom when you consider the circumstance we're in, but hard to fathom isn't the first thing that we should be surprised by, given what we saw Kawhi do. Excuse me. I'm supposed to be eating breakfast here. But at the end of the day, again, I'm not mad at Dennis Schröder. If he continues this crap after becoming a Laker, like actually becoming a Laker, then I will start looking at him a little differently. But right now, I just don't think he knows what to expect. But once he gets ingratiated with this franchise, he'll understand that none of that is best for him. Being on this team as a bench player is probably better than starting for the Kings. Let's just be honest. So he needs to get ingratiated with the team. The team needs to do a great job of making him feel welcome. Don't shun him for doing this. Don't tell him, no, we're going to buck what you're saying and not start you at all. Don't do that. That's not the best strategy. He is the best point guard on the team. But he will be humbled. That locker room will humble him in terms of he will be reminded, basketball-wise, that it's not in our best interest to keep the ball in his hands. He'll learn that. Again, this is somebody who's never played with LeBron James. Once he gets a chance to see how it is to be on LeBron's team, he'll understand what everybody else learns to understand. That you are better off when he has the ball. So, that's just a truth he's going to learn. As far as everything else, I'm still happy. I'm super ecstatic. I've been seeing pickup games. Guys look good. Montrez looks sharp, as he should. From what I understand, though I haven't seen him myself, Wesley Matthews is in good shape. He looks good out there. You know, guys just stopped playing basketball. So this is more like an extended all-star break than it is an off-season. And since everything's being rushed around, guys are going to new teams overnight and are expected to be ready for training camp like yesterday and expected to be playing preseason games like 2 weeks from now. These are the type of things that doesn't make it easy to adjust. So if guys are saying wacky things going into new teams or guys don't seem to be balanced yet, it's probably because their lives are not going to be balanced as smoothly as it would be if they had a real offseason to kind of get ingratiated with franchises. You got guys who ain't going to even have nowhere to stay because they didn't have time to find an apartment or find a place, who are going to be starting the season soon. So you got to understand, guys who are still on teams that they don't want to be on and didn't get an opportunity to get away from those teams in this short offseason. Like, these are things that are going on right now in this league that we really don't see the other side of. You just see the reaction to. You see guys' comments. You see things that express frustration. But what you don't see is what causes that frustration and the circumstances that would make somebody say some wacky stuff. So that's a lot of stuff that I wish the pundits saw the fruit in telling us. So it would give us context and perspective on why some things are said and why some things are played out. Instead, they just run with these narratives that make it sound like people are saying things that they're not saying. Like, I was listening to Skip, and his position on this was, you know, you're not going to take the ball out of the best point guard hands in this league. And my thing was, I don't think he was implying that he was trying to take the ball out of LeBron's hands. He just wants to be a shooting point guard. When LeBron has the ball in his hands, he should be looking for me to slash or shoot. That's basketball logic. If you're Dennis Schröder, you understand the game. You're a professional basketball player. You know damn well LeBron James is the best passer in the league. So in being the point guard, you do understand you're not going to be running the ball down the floor, but that doesn't mean you don't want to start. It doesn't mean that you don't want to shoot the ball when it's time for you to shoot the ball. It doesn't mean that you don't want to be able to size guys up when it's time for you to size guys up in the starting lineup. Do I think he would be great off the bench? Of course. He was almost the sixth man of the year. It was where he flourished and thrived. But I also understand the kid not wanting to have a career being as good as he is coming off the bench. He don't want to be Lou Williams. He wants to see if he can go off and make an all-star team or two. He sees guys like De'Aaron Fox making a lot of money. He probably thinks he's just as good as a guy like De'Aaron Fox in his mind, probably. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at that guy for wanting to start. It's just a matter of understanding where you're at, the privilege you have for being in a certain situation such as this, and then understanding how to behave once you get there. And that comes with experience, an experience for which he doesn't have yet. So give Dennis Schröder a break, or give him the benefit of the doubt to be more clear about my thought. I'll be listening to see where he goes from here. If he does say some more things that I can't get with, I will adjust my opinion. But as of right now, I just don't see nothing to really go crazy about. Once he gets in there, his opinion will adjust. It should. If he's a logical thinker, it will adjust. Anyway, so that's pretty much what I got, man. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else in regard to my team that I'm interested in. Speaking to you guys about, I haven't made a video in several days, and it's been several things that have happened, but nothing crazy for me to just step in and say, yo, this needs to be discussed. So I guess we're good. My name is BDF44. Thank you all for watching. I'm out.